For a long time, Nikon was the sleeping giant, a brand with a legendary heritage that moved at a cautious, steady pace while competitors sprinted ahead. But 2026 is officially the year the giant stops walking and starts running. Nikon's 2026 roadmap isn't just a list of updates, it's a full-scale tactical offensive designed to reclaim the throne. So, here are the 5 most anticipated Nikon cameras leaked for 2026 that are about to set the industry on fire. For years, the Z6 series was the reliable middle child of the Nikon family, the 24-megapixel workhorse that could do a bit of everything. However, for 2026, Nikon is reportedly throwing that playbook out the window to create a high-resolution monster. The leaked specifications for the Nikon Z6 IV suggest a massive pivot that will shock the market, a jump to a 61-megapixel full-frame sensor. This isn't just a slight resolution bump, it is a total repositioning of the series. By moving the Z6 IV into the high-megapixel territory, Nikon is aiming directly at professional landscape, architectural, and studio photographers who previously had to spend much more for that level of surgical detail. This shift is more than just about megapixels. It represents the first major integration of RED technology into a mid-range body. Speculation suggests the Z6 IV will feature a newly developed sensor architecture focused on extreme dynamic range and RED-inspired color science. For the hybrid shooter, this means getting cinema-grade skin, tones, and internal NRAW recording in a body that fits in a standard camera bag. To justify its anticipated price point of roughly $2,700 to $3,000, the camera is expected to bolster its video capabilities with full sensor 4K recording at 60 frames per second and a cropped 4K 120 frames per second mode for high-quality slow motion. This makes it a gateway to professional results for creators who need both billboard-ready stills and high-end video. The original Nikon Z8 was a cultural phenomenon, often hailed as the Mini Z9 for its ability to deliver flagship performance in a manageable body. So, how do you improve on near perfection? For 2026, the Nikon Z8 II is focused on 2 primary pillars: thermal efficiency and computational AI. One of the few complaints about the first Z8 was its tendency to generate significant heat during high bitrate 8K recording. The Z8 II is rumored to solve this with a completely redesigned internal cooling structure, potentially utilizing advanced heat dissipation technology derived from high-end cinema rigs to allow for effectively unlimited 8K 60p recording times. Beyond the cooling, the Z8 II is expected to debut the next-generation Xpeed 8 processor. This engine will likely power a predictive AI autofocus system that doesn't just track a subject, but actually predicts its movement based on machine learning datasets. For wildlife and sports photographers, this means the camera could anticipate a bird's flight path or a runner's stride before it even happens. The camera is also tipped to push raw continuous shooting speeds to an impressive 30 frames per second while introducing an enhanced pre-burst mode, ensuring that photographers never miss the decisive moment. At an estimated price of $4,500, it remains the ultimate high-end all-rounder for demanding professionals who refuse to compromise on speed or reliability. Perhaps the most disruptive leak on the entire 2026 roadmap is the Nikon Z4. For a long time, the barrier to entry for full-frame photography was the high cost of entry-level bodies. Nikon is rumored to shatter that barrier by employing an aggressively minimalist design to create the great democratizer of the full-frame world. The strategy involves stripping away expensive components, like the electronic viewfinder, and potentially in-body image stabilization to achieve an unprecedented price point between $900 and $1,200. This makes it one of the most affordable new full-frame cameras ever released, designed specifically to lure smartphone users and entry-level creators into the Z mount ecosystem. Despite its budget focus, the Z4 will not be a slouch in the performance department. It is expected to utilize a proven 24-megapixel sensor that offers low light performance and dynamic range that no smartphone or APS-C camera can match. Without the hump of a viewfinder, the Z4 will likely be the smallest full-frame Nikon ever produced, making it a perfect companion for street photographers and travel vloggers. It is a bold move that prioritizes portability and sensor size over traditional features, signaling that Nikon is ready to fight for the high-volume consumer market that has been neglected in recent years. While other models are chasing the hybrid and vlogging crowds, the long-awaited Nikon Z7 III is being meticulously crafted for the stills specialist. This camera is for the landscape, studio, and product photographers who prioritize optical precision and file quality above all else. The leak suggests that while the Z8 and Z9 have moved to a completely electronic shutter, the Z7 III will uniquely retain a mechanical shutter. This is a crucial feature for studio professionals who require flawless flash synchronization and the absolute best dynamic range performance at base ISO 64. The Z7 III is expected to feature a newly developed 45.7 megapixel stacked sensor, which will provide the processing speed required for a modern, responsive feel while maintaining the resolution sweet spot of its predecessor. Unlike the Z6 IV, which is pushing for raw megapixel count, the Z7 III is focusing on the quality of those pixels. We are looking at a camera that could offer 15.5 plus stops of dynamic range, rivaling medium format systems for a fraction of the cost. With an anticipated price between $3,000 and $3,300, it is designed to be a precision instrument for those who believe that photography is an art form that deserves the cleanest, most detailed files possible. Finally, we have the undisputed king of the lineup, the Nikon Z9 II. This is not just an update, it is a technological flex intended to solidify Nikon's claim to the absolute pinnacle of camera performance. The most earth-shaking rumor surrounding the Z9 II is the inclusion of a 60-megapixel global shutter sensor. Unlike traditional sensors that read data line by line, a global shutter captures the entire frame simultaneously. This completely eradicates rolling shutter distortion, meaning you can shoot a spinning propeller or a high-speed golf swing with zero warping. It also allows for flash synchronization at unprecedented speeds, unlocking creative lighting possibilities that were previously impossible. The Z9 II is positioned to be a cinema stills hybrid of a caliber we haven't seen before. With the Red Acquisition's fingerprints all over it, rumors are swirling about internal 12K NRAW video recording and an improved liquid cooling system to manage the immense data flow. We are also expecting staggering performance specifications, including continuous, raw shooting at 40 frames per second at full resolution. This concentration of cutting-edge technology will command a premium price, likely approaching $6,500, firmly establishing the Z9 II as an indispensable tool for elite sports and wildlife photographers whose livelihoods depend on absolute reliability and uncompromising performance. As of early 2026, Nikon has successfully transitioned from a legacy DSLR giant into a formidable, modern, mirrorless powerhouse. The company's current state is defined by a bold premiumization strategy, focusing less on flooding the market with cheap entry-level gear and more on high-margin, professional-grade tools. This pivot has solidified Nikon's position as a stable pillar in the imaging industry, even as it navigates a complex global economic landscape marked by shifting tariffs and currency fluctuations. The most transformative aspect of Nikon's current identity is its aggressive expansion into the cinema market. Following the landmark acquisition of Red Digital Cinema, Nikon has moved beyond being just a stills brand. The recent launch of the Nikon ZR, its first dedicated digital cinema camera, signals a new era where RED's legendary color science and RAW workflows are being fused with Nikon's world-class optics. This synergy is intended to attract a whole new demographic of high-end filmmakers and production houses. Financially, while the company has faced recent headwinds due to international trade costs and R&D investments, its imaging products business remains its most profitable segment. Nikon has now eclipsed the 50-lens milestone for its Z-mount lineup, offering one of the most comprehensive and optically superior mirrorless systems available. By doubling down on the mid to high-end enthusiast market and professional sectors, Nikon is no longer just catching up to Sony and Canon. It is carving out a unique niche as the brand where elite photography meets Hollywood-grade cinematography. The 2026 leaks paint a picture of a Nikon that is no longer content with just being a legacy brand. They are clearly aiming for total market dominance by diversifying their lineup to hit every possible type of creator. By offering the budget-friendly Z4, the high-res Z6 IV, the precision-focused Z7 III, the hybrid Z8 II, and the god-tier Z9 II, they are leaving no stone unturned. What is most exciting is the visible synergy between Nikon's optical excellence and Red's cinema pedigree, which is finally starting to bear fruit in these upcoming models. Nikon has played the long game, taking their punches and learning from the mirrorless transition, and now it is ready to deliver a knockout blow. For photographers and filmmakers alike, 2026 is shaping up to be a historic year. Whether you are a hobbyist looking for your first full-frame sensor or a professional requiring the speed of a global shutter, Nikon's upcoming slate has something that will push your creativity to the limit. The future of imaging is officially here, and for the first time in a long time, it is Nikon that is setting the pace for the rest of the world to follow. Share in the comments which upcoming Nikon camera you're most excited for and why. Subscribe to our channel for unique content like this, and as always, thanks for watching.